Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Embracing 30 podcast. And today the sun is shining. It feels like summer. It is still cold outside, but I went for my run this morning and it was glorious. I've also decided to start video. A few people have mentioned that it'd be nice to see my face, so here I am. I'm recording from my bedroom right now. And today we're going to be talking about how we build our internal validation and what internal validation is and why it's so important. And I'm just going to jump straight into it. So first of all, what is validation and what does it mean? So validation is a form of praise that comes from either outside people, so it can be friends, family, colleagues, even people that you don't actually know, or it could come from yourself. But an example of external validation would be things like likes on Instagram, someone complimenting on your outfit, someone saying that they're proud of you, all those kind of things that make you feel good about yourself and make you feel good inside. It gives us a sense of being part of a tribe and part of a community, because to feel liked and wanted and appreciated gives us a sense of value. However, relying on just external validation is not good, because it's unreliable and it can be given or taken away at any time. So having your validation met by others means that you're putting your worth and your value in other people's hands. And the reason that we seek validation is that our brain wants us to feel safe and they want us to feel part of a community. And if you go back to caveman times, part of a tribe. As I've said in previous podcasts, when you feel accepted, it regulates your nervous system and it makes you feel connected to other people. So if you were part of a tribe or you were excluded from a tribe years and years ago, it meant certain death. If you didn't have a pack and people to look after you, then you were out on your own in the wild. And our brains haven't actually developed from that into what it is just now. And our brain sees rejection as if being rejected from the tribe. And our nervous system sees it as us being left out and left to die, essentially. Validation also triggers your reward system. So when you receive a compliment or you receive praise or you receive likes on Instagram or likes on TikTok, our brain releases dopamine, which creates a feeling of pleasure and creates a feeling of enjoyment and excitement, and it releases happy hormones. It also calms the fear center in the brain as well. It releases oxytocin and also reduces our cortisol levels. But at the heart of it, like, being validated is a form of acceptance that we're doing the right thing and that other people recognise us and appreciate us. Now, I wanted to touch on the subject of seeking validation actually dilutes who you are as a person. So when we are constantly seeking validation from others, we forget to recognise our own worth, and we lose the ability to recognise our own worth as well without the input of outside noise and other people's opinions. We start to perform for the acceptance of others and not to fulfill our own desires, and we'll only chase after things that we know people are going to accept and people are going to appreciate or people are going to value. And if we're in a state where we're unsure of what we want from life and what we desire, we start to doubt ourselves and we look to others to guide us, to give us advice and to give us direction and what it is that we want to achieve. And we lose the sense of ourselves because we start to just do things that other people want to do. If we don't know what it is that we want and we can't validate ourselves to say that that's good and that we enjoy that and I should be appreciated for that, we start to do things for other people instead of doing things for ourselves. This then makes us rely on other people for our self-esteem and our self-worth. And the only way that we can feel worthy or feel valued is through praise from other people. Being able to validate yourself gives you self-trust, and you stop looking to others for direction and you stop looking to others to validate what you're doing or how you're feeling or how you're acting. And it makes you more confident and more willing to chase after your own goals. So the importance of internal validation is that it's being able to celebrate your own wins and not to actually care if other people approve of it or not. It's about the ability to tell yourself that I am enough, I am worthy of this thing, or I am allowed to do this thing without the fear of judgment of others or not being accepted or looked down upon by others. And you're more than happy to go out there and chase after things and not care what other people think, because you can validate yourself and you can say, I am enough and I do deserve this and I do want to chase after my dreams, regardless of what other people say. External validation is thinking, do they think I'm enough? And internal validation is, do I think I'm enough? And can you meet those needs yourself? Now, I understand that this is quite a difficult thing to do. A lot of people have quite a negative view of themselves, I think. And it's something that you have to work at. It's not something that's going to come easy. I'm not going to lie to you and say that following these steps is going to make you feel confident and it's going to make you feel like you don't need validation from anyone else, because I'm not going to lie, like, validation from other people is nice. It's nice to know that people love your outfit, or they like your post on Instagram, or they love your bikini, or they think that you've done really good at that job, or whatever it is. That feels good, and I'm not going to lie, it does feel good. And there is a place for external validation, but there's a difference between appreciating it and having it from time to time, as opposed to basing your complete self-worth on it. So how do we actually build our internal validation? And I think a lot of people don't know where to start. So I want you to think about if you were to go on a first date. So the difference between external and internal validation. So imagine you went out on a date with someone, and we'll focus on external validation first. So if you completely focus on external validation, you'll be spending the whole date thinking, do they like me? Do they like my outfit? Do I come across funny enough? Did I show my personality? Did I seem interesting? Did they seem interested in what I was saying? Did they compliment me? Did they validate my feelings? Whereas internal validation is being, well, I did show up as the best version of myself. And if they don't text or call, then that's on them, because I'm comfortable and secure in who I am. I still had fun. I still enjoyed myself. But if you have your own internal validation, you would be walking away from that date going, well, did I like them? Did I find them funny? Could I see them fitting into my life? Do they contribute to my life? Do I see them building a future with me? Are they going to better my life? As opposed to hoping that you're going to be that for somebody else. So you need to learn to understand your emotions and why you feel this way and why you need to seek validation in the first place. And like I said, building your internal validation is difficult. It's hard. Like, it's difficult to say good things about yourself. It's difficult to think that you are enough when we are told by society all the time that we're never enough. There's always something more to strive for. But being able to accept yourself as you are right now, and accept all your good and your bad, and be able to validate all your good parts and work on your bad parts, then you're not going to worry so much about what other people's thoughts and opinions are of you. So you need to learn to understand where it all comes from. But first of all, you need to learn to celebrate your wins, whether it's big, whether it's small. Whether it's just that you got out of bed on your first alarm in the morning, or you went to the gym when you really didn't want to, you posted that picture in a bikini that you really didn't want to, you ran a 5K, you went to bed on time, you done your skincare, you got your 10,000 steps a day, you drank water today, you stopped drinking caffeine at a certain time, whatever it is. It could be as big as I got that dream job, or I got a new house, or I got a car. Whatever it is, you need to celebrate them, and you need to show up for yourself and be like, no, I did do that. I did put myself out there, or I did that thing. I've done that for myself. And be proud of yourself for that. Like, you should be proud that you are sticking to your goals and you are showing up for yourself. And being able to celebrate the small wins and not just pie them off will help you build that internal validation, because you'll be like, oh, actually, well, I'm proud of myself for doing that. I don't care if anyone else is proud. Like, I ran that I went for my run this morning. I did my workout class. I did it for me, and I'm happy that I did that. And I think one major thing is that everyone has their own perception of you. Nobody is going to perceive you the same way as anyone else. And you are the only person that knows you inside and out. You are the only person that you are going to be with for the rest of your life. For your whole life, you are the only person that you're going to be with. And if people perceive you in certain ways, and it upsets you, but it's not something that you believe about yourself, but then why does it matter? If someone says that you're rude, well, I know I'm not rude. I know I don't do that. So why would your opinion matter to me when I know myself that I'm not that type of person? And you also need to learn to love yourself and your own company. You need to be okay with being by yourself. If you're constantly needing to be in the company of others, you're not comfortable with yourself. If you can't sit alone with your thoughts and your feelings and spend nights by yourself without mindlessly scrolling on your phone or constantly distracting yourself, you're never going to validate yourself, and you're never going to feel good about yourself, because you don't know yourself. If you don't know how your brain works or what thoughts come up when you're just by yourself, then how are you meant to validate yourself when you don't even know who you are? Another way to show up for yourself is stop asking other people for their opinion on things. Other people's opinions are valid and we do still want to have them, but stop asking for opinions on things like, what do you think I should wear today? Bitch, you know what to wear. You know what you want to wear. Whether you're overdressed or not, like that is not your problem. Whatever you want to wear that makes you feel confident and makes you feel good in your skin, why do you need to validate that with someone else? Because you're too scared that you're maybe going to be over or underdressed. So, the main thing that you should be happy with is that you've shown up in whatever clothes you want to wear and you feel good and you feel hot. And someone else's opinion shouldn't take that away from you. Or doing things like, oh, where do you want to go for dinner? And always asking other people, like, learning to make decisions and not having the input of other people will make such a drastic change to the way that you view yourself. When you do this, you build your self trust and it helps you grow as a person because you get more comfortable making decisions and standing by them without the input from other people. At the end of the day, most of the time you know what you want to wear, you know what you want to eat, you know where you want to go, you know what you want to do with your day off, but you're so concerned about other people's validation of what you want to wear, do, see, whatever it is, that you then ask them and take their opinion into consideration when you already know the answer. And if you're then giving that to other people, it's belittling yourself. And I'm not saying other people's opinions don't matter. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, wear what you fucking want. Eat what you want. Some people will be like, oh, what are you getting at the restaurant? What? And I understand that maybe you're just curious. But a lot of people ask because they don't know what to get. Like, if you don't know yourself and you don't even know what you want to eat at a dinner table, how are you meant to know what you want to go after in life when you can't make a small decision about what you're going to eat? And another thing that's going to help with your internal validation is give yourself discipline. You need to be disciplined and make promises to yourself and follow through on them. When you constantly make promises to yourself and let yourself down, you are just destroying everything that you're building. If you say you're going to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning and you're going to go to a workout class, but then you snooze your alarm because you don't want to get up and whatever, you're just breaking your trust to yourself. And then your brain's like, well, you told us 3 times this week you're going to get up at 6 in the morning, and look, here you go again, snoozing your alarm. That doesn't make you feel good about yourself, and you always feel worse when you break a promise to yourself. If you said, I'm going to go for a run after work, and then you come home and sit on the couch and rot away for the evening, how shit do you feel when you go to bed and you're like, well, I should have went for that run? On my day off, I want to go out and I want to go for a coffee, or I want to go for lunch, or do this or do that. But when you wake up, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to sit in my room and I'm just going to sit in my house and binge watch Netflix and scroll on my phone. And then you always regret breaking that promise to yourself. So making sure you make promises and you follow through on them is going to help you with your internal validation, because you'll be like, yeah, I did do that. Oh, I made that promise to myself. Oh, I said I was going to get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run. I did that. I said I was going to get up and have a coffee before I went into work and not be rushing about at the last minute. Yeah, I made that happen and I feel so much better for it. Oh, I said I was going to start posting on TikTok, and then you never do it, and all you do is scroll and see people doing your dream and chasing your dream because you are too undisciplined to do it. But yeah, that gives you such a sense of self-love and self-importance. It gives you such a sense of self-love and self-care when you make promises and you show up. Because if a friend did that to you, if they said, yes, we will go for a run in the morning, and they didn't show up, you would be like, what the fuck? And that trust is broken and you're doing it with yourself. Why do you show up for other people, but you don't give yourself the same discipline? If you make plans with your friends or you make plans with your family or even going to work, you're going to be there because you've made those plans. But when you make plans with yourself, like that doesn't matter and you don't show up, like what the fuck is that all about? And like the last point is stop giving a fuck. Everything's temporary and we're going to die anyway. So why wouldn't you do what you want to do without the concern of other people? In 100 years, every single person, near enough, most people, or all people that you know, including yourself, are going to be dead. Nothing you do will matter anymore. Nobody's going to care what outfit you wore. What's going to matter is when you're on your deathbed and you'll be like, I fucking showed up for myself. I did what I wanted to do. I chased after my dreams. I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone. I did all of these amazing things. But then you could be sitting on your deathbed and being like, well, I didn't do anything I wanted to do in life because nobody wanted to validate me, and I didn't feel safe and I didn't feel secure because I worried too much about what people thought. Like, just picture that. And I bring it up all the time. And I do it to myself. Picture yourself on your deathbed. What do you want to remember? Because people don't get to their deathbed and wish that they worked more, or they watched more TV, or they scrolled on their phone more. Fuck, we already scroll too much on our phones. I read somewhere that if we keep going the way we're going to spend 25 years of our life scrolling on our phones. And that makes me feel physically ill. But nobody gets to their deathbed and wish they worked more, watched TV more, whatever it is, scrolled on their phone more. They get to their deathbed and they're like, I wish I travelled more. I wish I put myself out there. I wish I fucking went for it. And that's why we need to validate ourselves, because if nobody else is going to do it, we can do it ourselves and we can create the life of our dreams. That's all for today's podcast. I got a bit passionate at the end there, but I hope that you enjoyed it and took something away from it. And I hope it's made you realise how important it is to validate yourself and not rely on other people to do it for you. Thank you so much for tuning into the Embracing 30 podcast. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all next week.